yesterday, Scott, in the comments, there was lots and lots of comments where people are saying, I'd love for Vince to go on to Building Fortunes Radio with Scott Johnson and Peter Mingles. So would you like to have Vince come on to the radio show?
I would. I've been sending him emails, I think, for a week or two, inviting him on the show, but I haven't heard back from him, so I don't know, what his thinking is, because I just haven't heard back from him. Maybe he doesn't use that email address anymore. I don't know,
Yep.
But he's welcome to come on the show, just like anybody else in the world is welcome to come on my radio show, except for Marco.
Okay, all right. What I'll do too is I'll leave a link. I'm going to make this an individual video, and I'm going to put the link where anybody out there can email Scott Johnson and they can ask him to go on to Building Fortunes Radio, except for Marco. Sorry, Marco, you're not welcome, but every other person on planet Earth is. Also, Scott, could I come on and join? If Vince is to agree, would I be able to come on as well with you and Peter?
Absolutely.
Awesome. That would be amazing. Me, Scott Johnson, Peter Mingles, and Vince. I think that would make for a really, really interesting radio show. So I'm going to post this, and hopefully Vince can see it. Anyone who's watching, if you would like to see Vince on Building Fortunes Radio with Scott Johnson and Peter Mingles, and me as well, please forward this video to Vince, because I've got no doubt that would be a very, very interesting discussion, because Scott's a fan of Vince. Is Peter, do you know if Peter Mingles is also a fan, Scott?
I haven't talked to Peter about Vince, but
Okay.
Based on our over 8 years of weekly radio shows, I think he would very much agree with Vince.
Okay, so it's highly likely that Peter Mingles is also a fan of Vince. So, yeah. So it would be Peter Mingles, Scott Johnson, big fans of Vince, and there would be me. So, yeah, I really, 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 I've got my fingers crossed that Vince can see this and come onto the show. The only thing that
I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Vince. I would say I agree with pretty much everything that he says.
Okay, yep. Okay. I guess also you could also educate him more about the Amway tool scam. Do you think he's lacking a bit of knowledge in the Amway tool scam?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I just got to the part in the video where they started to talk about the tool scam.
Okay.
And then that's when you called me. So I don't know how much he knows about it. As I finish the video, I'll learn more about what he knows.
Yep. I'm also interested, Scott, what do you think Vince's opinion of Marco is now? Do you think that Vince is of the belief that Marco, does he agree with you that Marco is stupid and doesn't understand MLMs and is just plain ignorant? Or do you think...
I think he said that during the entire video. He pretty much told Marco, you don't get it.
Okay, do you think his views as strong as yours and Peter's, or not quite?
I don't think they're as strong because, Vince did not have a nasty experience with Marco like Peter and I did.
Yeah.
And so, he does not have that sort of history behind how he feels about Marco.
Yeah. All right. I think it'd be interesting, though, to ask him on Building Fortunes Radio, what did you make of Marco, the way he behaved during the interview? What do you think of Marco's knowledge on the multi-level marketing industry? I'd be interested to know what his thoughts were, whether he gained or lost respect for Marco during that interview and after rewatching it. But yeah, I'm keen, you're keen. I'm guessing Peter Mingles is going to be keen. So yeah, if you're out there, let Vince know.